deep slumber. They called itself a dog, said it was coming for us all. Suddenly the cradle has fallen cold. At least the alpha, Leela Janek, knows better than to break the deep slumber. She is watchful and never heard. Curious, but careful. You would be wise to emulate her ways. The deep slumber is all that maintains the cradle's magic. We must not be bothered. Do you not understand? This could end the summer card. I saw something in the deep slumber. They called it
The barrier around the cradle of summer must be weakening. I can feel the magic drifting from us, like the seedlings from the trees. What does it all mean? What do you wish to discuss, mortal? Can't you see we are lost in the deep slumber? This is one meditation that should not be interrupted. How did you gain entrance to the cradle of summer? This is a protected place. It is an interesting quandary. Lord Calor and Terenia will wish to speak with you. They are the guardians of the cradle, and they do not like to see us disturbed. Calor will have your head for breaking the deep slumber. Are mortals capable of treating anything delicately? I doubt it. What do you wish to discuss, mortal? Can't you see we are lost in the deep slumber? This is one meditation that should not be interrupted.
The last mortal who interrupted the deep slumber made off with the cradle's most prized possessions. I hope you have more respect. The wild fae have been trying to break our protected barriers for many seasons. Your presence here convinces me that they may finally be succeeding. I saw something in the deep slumber. It called itself a dog, said it was coming for us all. Suddenly the cradle has fallen cold. The wild fae have been trying to break our protected barriers for many seasons. Your presence here convinces me that they may finally be succeeding. The deep slumber...
How did you gain entrance to the cradle of summer? This is a protected place. It is an interesting quandary. Lord Calor and Terenia will wish to speak with you. They are the guardians of the cradle, and they do not like to see us disturbed.
So many mortals in the cradle of summer. It is odd. What do you hope to accomplish here? Almond was correct. You are a stupidly curious lot. You should be punished for trespassing, Dustling. This is not your mortal realm to be claimed and defiled. This place was here before all of us. We were only guests. The deep slumber is all that maintains the cradle's magic. We must not
go back to where you came from. There is a reason your kind has taken root in Emer village. You do not belong in the cradle of summer. Lord Calor and Terenia will wish to speak with you. They are the guardians of the cradle, and they do not like to see us disturbed. What do you wish to discuss, mortal? Can't you see we are lost in the deep slumber? This is one meditation that should not be interrupted. What do you wish to discuss, mortal?
I saw something in the deep slumber. It called itself a dog.
It is from this tale that you mortals create myths. There were many battles, many losses, many victories. The Tempest spared no one. Your ancestors hid as the ground trembled under the gathered armies of Lord Ulm. They whispered tales of the radiant Issa, striking the winter Fae like lightning, tearing the looming clouds. It was everything you know of war.
Welcome back. It's a nice village.
Be safe. I've heard there's an Alfar noble traveling with the refugees.
Watch yourself.
That when I see.
Watch yourself.
welcome to stay here as long as you need to. What's ours is yours. We ask only that you share what you have with everyone. My cousin Cliath-Arn abandoned Dolvearn for a life of waste and frivolity in Rathir. When the war began, I was forced to hand everything over to the Alfar army, except Erlich here. I will return one day. It is my birthright. It is no place for these people. I've seen many sorrowful sights in my travels abroad, and nothing could have prepared me for the suffering I've witnessed here. If what they say is true, then the Forsaken Plain is truly cursed. Only the Fae could have spoiled a place so utterly. To them, death is just a new beginning. Out here? No, I have not seen any Tuatha on this long, treacherous road. However, there are plenty of other dangers to avoid. Trust me. Bandits prowl the high cliffs to the east, and there is talk of spies among the refugees. But I am not one to heed rumors and suspicions. The war took everything these poor folk possessed. Their farms, their families, their future. Now they search for hope in a hopeless land. At Dolvearn, I was born into wealth, into prestige, and I took it for granted. That is why I've devoted myself to raising these good people up. Ah, I'm glad you asked. The village of Culn was a place of peace, of prosperity. Now it is little more than ashes and bones. But by burning our homes, the Tuatha have kindled in us a fire for survival. We will build a new Culn. All I need is the gold to support this bold undertaking, possibly by retrieving the treasures of Culn. Care to help? There are many valuables, but only a chosen few will fetch the kind of gold we need to begin construction. A painting, an urn, a box, and some jewelry. A nobler soul I've never met. Now, here is what I intend to do, because like all good leaders, I have a plan. My plan involves the treasures of Culn. The people of this good village were not mere farmers, but members of the highest strata. Their collection of valuables was truly second to none. To safeguard those possessions, and because many proved cumbersome on this long journey, they hid them. I want you to bring them to me. Sadly, we will need to sell them. The items are in Bitter Cove, east of here near the hills. It was deserted when we spent the night there, but I fear it's been occupied since then. Goodbye.
Lord Crass does not pay me to make conversation. I'm only here to protect him from the Freeman, so keep your distance. I don't speak ill of my masters. Nice try. They're not a very organized group. Well, that's what makes them unpredictable. As far as bandits go, the Freemen aren't the worst, but they know how to get the job done. You'll find bands of them here and there across the Forsaken Plain, just waiting to filch what they can from the unprepared. That's why I'm here. I am not a man of means, so I must serve those who can provide for me. Not one of the nobles I've protected has fallen at the hands of his enemies. One of them was crippled by his wife, but that's a whole other story entirely. It's hot, not Detir hot, but dry enough to choke a Barghest. If you must know, I hate the heat. My delicate skin can't handle the exposure. I'm joking with you, fool.
Some of us fought. The Tuatha, they have a lust for battle. We would have been lost without Elrod Edmund. He was a great officer in the war. He was sent home when a Mergen left its trident in his back.
The Summer Fae suffered the winter's onslaught. They collided amidst lightning and fire, and a godstorm gathered up the land in its embrace, crushing it. Do you remember the steady rain? The hail of bodies, both wintry and warm? It was a sword carving the plains with death.
Remarkable. The treasures of Culm. They are more beautiful than I remember. This is truly an achievement, one that will shape the days to come, I promise you. You will have it, as you deserve something equal to the great service you have done me and the refugees. I have acquired many tools and weapons during this long journey west. I have set them aside to use in constructing New Culm, but I now offer them to you. You are welcome to one item from my private hoard as thanks. Erlich will accompany you, of course. His spear may come in handy along the way. Goodbye.
Well, here we are. It's time to get started. And by that I mean I'm supposed to kill you, here, away from the eyes of the refugees. As you've probably guessed, there is no reward. There never was. Kras is probably halfway to Rathia by now. Never trust nobles, my friend, even false ones. Now, I'm not in the mood for killing at the moment, but orders are orders. I know he lies. That's why we get along so well.
We would have been lost without Elrod Edmund. He was a great officer in the war. The Forsaken Plain has its name for a reason. We would have been lost without Elrod Edmund.
Lord Kras has vowed to protect us, even though we are not of the same race. He's nearby if you wish to speak with him yourself. Once we reach the Cradle of Summer, all will be well. The Summer Tarian will protect us.
We would have been lost without Elrod Edmund.
You? How in the... Erlich, that turncoat. I never should have trusted a liar to commit murder. That's what murderers are for. What do you want? Of course I did. I'm not the Lord of Dolve-Arn. I'm not even from the Tawili coast. But what does it matter? I only did what I had to do. Don't we all? The Rathir authorities don't have to know. Keep this quiet and let me sail with this galley, and you can have the gold I received for the treasures of Kuln. I am a man of my word. Most of the time. No! You wretch! You will rue the day you betrayed Kras. Do you hear me? Come back.
Welcome sight. A minute more and I'd be joining our friends on the hill here. Thanks for the assistance. I just figured everyone out here in the Forsaken Plain was either a refugee or one of the freemen. Looks like I was wrong. Actually, I'm a bit ashamed to say. I'm searching for a grave. But not just any grave. The last resting place of Azo Raymond, richest of the Tuili merchants. They say he died early in the march west, claimed by the Forsaken Plain. Rumor has it he's buried with the famous rings of Azo. I could live a year on those. I'm glad to hear it. There's plenty of ground to cover between here and Rathir to the north, and another pair of eyes will be a huge advantage. Most of the graves are along the refugee route, usually surrounded by crude markings or gestures left by loved ones. It's a pity they couldn't do more. If I knew, I wouldn't be hiking all over this hill, reading names on worn gravestones. With my luck, it's on the other side of the Forsaken Plain. I'm a refugee, like the others in the tents. It's a desperate place. People will do anything to see the next morning. Steal, kill, you name it. I heard Azo profited greatly from the war in the east, but that he was forced from his home when the Tuatha plundered Erethel. He moved west with the refugees. But the Forsaken Plain is no place for fat, wealthy merchants. They say he died quickly, with not a soul to mourn him. You've got to watch your step in the Forsaken Plain, for every cave holds a bandit. Every refugee might be a cheat out to swindle us all. The freemen are especially fierce, for they're fighting not for the take, but for their very survival. Not so different than you or I, they are. Not all of us are from the village of Kulm. We come from all along the Tuili coast. Farmers and merchants, veterans and scholars. The Tuatha have put our possessions to the flame, but we will never accept defeat. Not so long as leaders like Lord Crass and Elrod Edmund act as our standard bearers. I don't mind it as much as most, but I was raised in Datir, so I can handle the heat. Can't stand the bandits, though. It's impossible to get a decent night's sleep. Bye.
Watch yourself.
Just in time.
May I help you? It took much gold to secure a permanent residence here, and for reassurances that there would be few questions.
Where did you hear that name? The man you speak of is dead, and all of his wealth has died with him. I told you, I don't know the man. Enough. You're persistent, I understand. What do you want? I want no part of that old life. Not the gold, not the reputation, not the worry. I made that false grave because I was tired of people hounding me for salvation. Wish to know where my money is? I'll tell you. It's gone. All gone. All I have left are my family rings. I just want to be left alone. To start over. Can't you appreciate that? Please, show me some mercy. Thank you. It was never my intent to hurt anyone, or to deny the needy what they deserve. But I am one man, and all I have left is for my future generations. Take this ring. I don't like to owe anyone, not anymore. He was my gardener. When the Tuatha killed him, I decided to take his name. It was the only thing he had that belonged to him. Perhaps he lives on now because of me. Goodbye.
Oh, good. You again. Don't you dare leave. I'm so bored.
I've heard there's an Alfar noble traveling.
Welcome back. Do you require assistance? Bye. Stay safe.
Looking for a fate reading? Pleasant travels.
Mind the refugees.
It's nice to see a familiar face. So much tension in... Farewell.
Hello.
Your eyes on your possessions.
Be careful.
Hello. I'm just about ready to give up. Tell me, have you heard any news of Britt Hagney or his final resting place? Lost to the Forsaken Plain, he is. Oh well, it was certainly worth the search. Can't even imagine the kind of new life those rings would have given me. It's better not to think about. Thanks for your help. Here's a little something for your trouble. I'll be seeing you around.